All right, so in order to talk about what we're thinking of when we're thinking of a theater critic, I want to first talk about the transactional model of communication. And what this model talks about is essentially that when we receive new information, we have a filter that information goes through. And that filter is created based on our personal experiences and based on our personal beliefs and values. So first, I want you to close your eyes and I want you to think about a tree. Now, I want you to imagine this tree. I want you to have a really specific picture. Imagine this tree in as much detail as possible. Color, where it is, all of these things. Okay, so on the count of 3, I am going to show you the picture of the tree that I am talking about. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Here you go. So is this tree similar to the tree that you were thinking about? It's probably a little bit different, okay? And that is because the first picture that you have in your brain is colored by your values, right? What kind of tree do you think is beautiful? It's colored by your experience. What kind of trees do you see most often in your world? When you're walking down the road, when you're driving down the street? What kind of trees do you believe are important? You believe they represent tree, right? And so we've got all of these assumptions coming into any experience, and theater is no different. Okay, so this communication model, we have a sender and we have a receiver. Okay, so this is a sender, that's a nose, and this is our receiver with a nose. Okay. So we've got a sender and a receiver. And so if I'm the sender, I am going to have a picture in my brain. And then I'm going to translate, we call it coding. We're going to code that picture into words. Okay, so we've got this encoding, and then it's going to go into words, and we're going to say those words, boop, boop, boop. And then those words are going to travel to the ear of the receiver. Okay, great. So we have traveled all the way over here. And then that receiver is going to decode the message. And this all happens really, really fast and put it into terms that the receiver understands. Okay, but the words that the sender chooses are based on the sender's filter. So that filter, boop, 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 is made up of experiences and values and beliefs. Okay, and here's the deal, is the receiver has their own filter also. So boop, 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 boop. And that filter affects how that information is decoded. So just keeping in mind that our experiences, our values, and our beliefs make a huge difference in the assumptions that we make when we hear words. If you say you're going to the theater, what do you assume that experience will be? And if that experience is different from what you assumed it would be, how do you respond? Now, as a theater critic, it is our job to be aware that our experiences, values, and beliefs color our response to any particular stimulus. So any show, I'm going to go in with assumptions, and then I am going to be given a message, and then I have to evaluate that message based on what my expectations were. But my expectations are not necessarily the same as everybody's. So it's important to be able to understand where we're starting and what our filter is when we are evaluating any kind of theater. All right, thanks a lot.